Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, giving our praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations unto Achim, upholding the testimony of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. This is Jaikwa,
And Brother Kasada.
and this lesson will be entitled The Desire of All Nations Explained. And this is from the book of Haggai, the second chapter, the 7th verse. And we're going to go in depth, an in-depth analysis to bring forth the proper understanding, clarification, and edification of this scripture. For context, this is Haggai, all right, which was a post-exiled prophet. So he was a contemporary with Zerubbabel, Joshua, the high priest, as well as with roughly around the time of Nehemiah and Ezra. So he was a contemporary of those men of the Lord and those prophets. All right, he was a Southern Kingdom Israelite, and this is during the time of the Achaemenid Empire, otherwise known as the Persian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire. At this time period, the Persians had got the upper hand of the confederacy with the Medes, and I believe this is the rulership, the reign of Darius of Persia. And so we have a background on the timeline. And so a background on what's taking place is the temple, the second temple, is being built by the commission of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Yahweh. And Zerubbabel, who was the governor of Judah, and Joshua the high priest are the leadership of our nation at this time period. And the people, meaning the Israelites, we were slack in hand with building the temple. And this is why Haggai came on the scene to prophesy what he did. And he admonished us to prioritize the construction of the temple, the second temple, rather than our own labors. And through the spirit of prophecy, that same admonishment applies now, today. We have to love less. We have to prioritize the third temple, which is the doctrine of Yahweh Shai, the teaching of Yahweh Shai, and the gathering in of the elect through the ministry. This is how we build the third temple, all right? And of course, this also applies, this scripture in itself also applies to now, especially what we're about to read. This applies more so to now than back then. So I'll start off, or if you want to read, it's whatever. Haggai, the second chapter, and the 7th verse.
All right, I got it. It's Haggai chapter 2 and verse 7. And I will
start at
verse 6.
Start at verse 6.
All right. This is Haggai chapter 2 and verse 6. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land.
Right. So the Lord shaking the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land is speaking of he's going to turn out the foundation of the heathen through thermonuclear destruction. All right. The heavens in itself symbolically represents those of rulership, and the dry land represents in itself the conduct that's taking place on the earth under the leadership of the heathens. And the sea in itself represents the people, the nations. And that's the spiritual symbolic gesture of it, but it's also physical because through earthquakes of the thermonuclear destruction and the shifting of tectonic plates, because that's what the missiles are going to do. That's why the scripture says the earth shall rock to and fro as a drunkard, because they're going to be an exchange of thermonuclear missiles that's going to cause the earth to physically quake. You got it.
God, I got a precept real quick. But, Hebrews chapter 12.
Let me get it. What you want?
You can jump down. I'll start at verse 24.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 24. And to Yahweh Shai, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaketh better things than that of Abel.
Yeah, we're going to have better things than what Abel had.
Yeah.
You know, Abel lived in was somewhat a Pangea, man. You know, paradise. The earth was a paradise at one point in time, man.
That's right.
You know, we're going to have better things to come for us, man.
Right. This Abel was cut off by Cain, but the Lord isn't going to have us be cut off.
Nah. You got it.
Verse 25. See that ye refuse not him that speaketh, for if they escape not who refused him that spake on earth, much more shall not we escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven.
Yeah, don't refuse this word. Don't refuse Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Don't reject or smack his hand away. Because this truth, we are reaching out, all right? But what's going to happen to you if you refuse the Heavenly Father, knowing that's truth, all right? Because everybody knows the truth. But to be honest with you, what's going to happen to you if you do know this truth? They go parallel. They go the same because everybody knows the truth. So what's going to happen? And mainly, most importantly, to you Israelites. But you can continue on, bro.
Yep. Verse 26. Whose voice then shook the earth.
Yeah, the Lord's voice shook the earth. This truth shook the earth, man. It's shaking things up. All right? And what the brother was going into, you know, it was twofold going into Haggai. You know, it was speaking of, you know, the word, but also the Lord's going to use those ICBM missiles to shake things up too.
Yeah.
You know, but this truth is what's shaking things up.
Yeah.
And it's gonna say the same thing. You got it, bro.
And causing the heathen to tremble.
Yep, that's right.
Causing their initiation of regret, which we'll get to that. Remember that word.
Yep.
The initiation of their regret starts with them hearing this testimony.
Yep.
Pursuant to Revelations, the 11th chapter, where it says they stood upon their feet an exceeding great army. That's talking about the prophets. And then it continued on, and when you read, it says, "In great fear fell upon them which saw them." And that's the heathen nations, starting with the elites and oligarchs of the heathens. Great fear.
Yep. That's this truth is what's shaking these nations, man. Finding out, who they are. Finding out that the Lord is dealing with Israel. Finding out that the Lord is about to come back and judge them all. You know, and the whole earth is shaking things up. All right, that prophecy is coming into fruition. That they all realizing that the prophets and the man and the Lord that was standing on the street corners prophesied that they was gonna go in World War III. And look at these people in the midst of World War III. Yeah. Exactly what we told them where it was gonna be. You got it, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Saying yet once more, I shall not the earth only. Pardon me. Verse 26, whose voice then shook the earth, but now he hath promised, saying, yet once more, I shall not the earth only, but also heaven.
Also heaven, man. Also heaven, man. You know?
He said, pardon me, yet once more, I shake not the earth only, but also heaven.
Yeah. Those who are in high status, you know, in the heaven itself, the skies, man. The Lord is about to shake things up, physically and spiritually, man. You know. Yeah, you got it, bro.
And this word, yet once more, signifieth Ooh. And keep in mind,
Yep.
write down that word signifieth. Keep
Yep.
that in mind.
Yep.
Signifieth the removing of those things that are shaken. Please write down that word signifieth. Write down that word shake, and also write down that word. Where are we? Keep those in mind. I mentioned another word earlier, but let's see. It says signify the removing of those things that are shaken, as of the things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain.
Yeah, who's not gonna be shaken?
This
Everything else
powerful.
is gonna be shaken.
Yeah.
But what's not gonna be shaken? The elect.
Oh my goodness.
The elect isn't gonna be shaken. Why? Because we know what the Lord said He was going. We have faith. We believe the Lord is a man of His word. We know that the Lord is going to do exactly what He said He was going to do. He's not going to touch these things that He's going to set up. There's no need for us to be shaken if He's going to take care of us, in which that's what He's done once we came back to Him. All right, but everything else, man, is going to be shaken up. You know, and I think that other word He was talking about is Where did it start with a D? Because we was going into it in Haggai. That's what you was mentioning.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go back to Haggai.
That was
Let me
the point, though.
no, actually,
Oh,
can
you
I
wanna
lamb?
continue?
I would
Yeah.
I would like to continue
you got it,
on
bro.
your point. Verse 29, it says, "Wherefore we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved.
That's right.
Let us have grace whereby we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear. For our God is a consuming fire." And a way that he's going to display his consuming fire attribute is via the thermonuclear missiles.
That's right.
That's also what is going to cause the heavens and earth to shake.
Yup. It's two folds, man.
Yeah.
It's two folds. This whole scripture right here, man.
It's an onion layer.
Yeah.
It's onion layers. And the layers in the onion often are the secrets that are revealed to the servants, the prophets.
Desire, that's what it was. Like,
Was it desire?
desire,
Yes.
that's what it was.
Yes. Also write down the term desire. And you're going to equate it. We're going to go into the Hebrew and get the understanding of that term in that context. Because let's see here. This is Haggai chapter 2. Go ahead.
In verse 7, it says, "I will shake all nations in the desire."
And I will shake all nations. So we just read about how the Lord is going to deal with the nations in Hebrews.
Yep. So He's going to shake the earth.
He's going to shake the earth, which this is talking about
And
the
heavens.
nations.
Yep. Yep. Heavens. It's also, symbolic of those who is in authority or
Right.
In the upper echelons. Let's
Right.
say that. You know what I'm saying?
It's talking about the oligarchs of
Yep.
the nations.
Yep, that's right, brother.
Yeah.
It says, "And I will shake all the nations, and the desire of all nations shall come."
So, and the desire of all nations shall come. Let's read this verse through, and then we're going to read back, and we're going to touch desire. Let's read it
Okay.
fully.
It says, "And I will shake all the nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith Yahweh of hosts."
I mean, I will fill this house with glory, saith Yahweh of hosts.
That's right.
So, going back to, can you read it from the top?
Come. Going
Verse
back
7.
to verse 6.
7. So
Oh, you want me to start? Verse 7. This is Haggai chapter 2 and verse 7. "And I will shake all the nations."
shake. Now, that term shake goes into tremble, and the shaking is, of course, physically via the thermonuclear missiles, and he's also going to put fear in them through this word. That's the forerunning of the missiles. We're prophesying of the missiles. That term shake is Ra'ish or Ra'ish, all right, in the root, which to quake, to shake, all right. It goes into to tremble essentially when you go into it, as you can see, to make tremble at that right here. Let me see. So yeah, let me so let's go back, right? So read from 7.
Come. verse 7, it says, "And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come."
So, and the desire of all nations shall come. So, the Hebrew word for this desire, which, yes, this Hebrew word does mean desire, which is chamadah, all right, or chamadath in this context. Chamadah being the root of that, but the primitive root of that is chamad, all right? So when you go into that term desire, all right, chamad, all right, you see the word desire, yes. Let's go to the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, which chamadah, which the definition is feminine, meaning desire, regret, regret. So really that term desire in that context, chamadah, yes, that's the proper Hebrew word, but it's really supposed to be regret. Them trembling. That when you contextually, when you read it, the proper English word that should have been there is regret, and the regret of all nations.
Yep.
All right, keep reading.
Yeah. I'll continue reading.
Uh-huh.
Of all nations shall come.
And the regret of all nations shall come. What? Their regret from what? Their regret from them touching the Lord's anointed and doing his prophets harm.
Yep.
All right, the regrets for what the heathens have done via the slave trade and disenfranchising us. That's pursuing to wisdom of Solomon in the 5th chapter.
Right.
Matter of fact, let's get that. We can get it. Why not? It's Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. You got it.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it. Mm-hmm. This is Wisdom of Solomon, all right, chapter 5, verse 1. It says, I thought I was about to read chapter 1. Verse 1, it says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him."
They're going to have chamadah. They're going to have regret for their affliction of the righteous. I was set, and you read the chapter prior to Zephaniah, I was set in the midst of thee and afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahweh.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, "And made no account of his labors. When they see it,"
which are the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and those who are scattered abroad in the other lands as well.
Yep. "And when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear."
They shall tremble.
Yep. They're going to be shaken, man.
They shall be shaken. Right? Go ahead.
"And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they looked for."
Right, because we're going to be delivered via the chariots from the nuclear destruction, while they're going to have to sit here and contemplate and be philosophers in the fire.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Continuing on, verse 3, "And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit."
And they repenting and groaning, and the Lord shall bring forth the chamadath, the regret of all nations.
Yep.
Not their physical desire and pleasantness, not in that context of the usage of the word, but the regret. And they repenting and groaning. See? That's regret.
They're going to be over apologetic, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna be real sad, man. Groaning. It says, "For anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach."
Yeah, talking crap about us, black Hebrew Israelites, being disrespectful, calling us Nigger, calling us African Americans,
calling us monkeys,
porch
monkeys. What else, man? The list go on, man. This goes on for everything that you heathens have called us, and said about us, done to us. Yeah, you're going to be really being very, very repentful in that day.
Persecuting the martyrs and torturing us.
Yep.
Because the Romans and the Greeks and all those heathens, when you read about the martyrdom of the saints in the early church, you know, throwing us in those coliseums,
Yep.
you know, and feeding us and torturing us in front of thousands of people for their entertainment, because we didn't reject Yahweh Shai and worship Caesar and worship idols.
Right. Yep.
Go ahead.
We fools counted his life madness and his end to be without honor.
Yep.
How is he numbered among the children of the Most
The
High?
children of God, and that's for you Muslims. Allah taketh himself not bunny. Yes, he does take himself sons.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm.
We are the sons of God, the Israelites, starting with the elect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been written throughout the prophets that we were the sons. It's just you guys come up thousands of years, at minimum 600 years post any of the other canon prophets, you know, in the prophecies, and
Yep.
you guys just change things. And then
Yep.
you add garbage from post-Nicene Council Christianity to your doctrine,
Yep.
and fairy tales from the Persians,
Yep.
and call it a religion.
Yeah, man, because, hey, even that's what's going to shake y'all up. Y'all going to have that regret because y'all done came up and took away and added to the scriptures, man. You know?
Then they burned. There was this nigga Omar, one of the guys. They burned the original Quran.
Yeah.
But they burned it, and then the one that Muhammad's wife had, the dude burned it. Then somebody burned his version of the Quran. So what they have is it's just all type of people been adding and taking away to that damn book.
Right.
That's not even the original Quran that they reading. You got some heathen king put his own input in it
Yeah.
from the medieval period, from 1000, 1100.
Yeah.
Then the Ottomans put their own input in it, because the Quran they read now was canon by the Ottomans.
Yeah.
So you guys don't even know your history. You don't even know what you involved in. We know what you involved in, and we know your history, and we also know ours.
Yep. You know what you done. The Lord knows what you done. You've been presented before the heavenly courts, and we find every one of you nations guilty, man.
Yep.
That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
You guilty.
And when the Lord bang that gavel or that hammer, that's when y'all gonna be shaken up.
Yep. Yep.
Because you've been sentenced. The Lord give you your sentence. You realize, oh, they've been telling the truth the whole time. You mean I gotta go into slavery?
Yes, you have to go into
You
slavery.
mean I gotta pay for everything I've done to them?
Yes, you do.
Everything I've said about them?
Yes, all your thoughts. All those inner thoughts, those fickle thoughts of yours, you're going to be brought into account for that.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord is the God of thoughts.
Yep.
He knows the intents of the heart.
That's right. That's right.
So let's go back, all right, to Haggai, the 2nd chapter.
Okay.
All right, so we were at verse.
We was reading verse 7.
Let's read verse, for context, let's read verse 89. 8 and 9, excuse me.
Haggai chapter 2 and verse 8. It says, the silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith Yahweh of hosts.
And the Lord and the heathens took away the silver and gold.
Mm-hmm.
The silver and gold, it represents the people, it represents the
Yep.
Israelites that they don't want to let go and continue to use to oppress us.
Yep.
Or oppress us, and it's also talking about the physical gold and silver that they plundered from our temple.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the book of what is that? Joel, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
My silver and gold have ye taken out of my house.
Yep.
Let me get that.
Because y'all are thieves, man.
Yep, the Romans did it.
Mm-hmm.
Which you Romans are the NATO and the EU.
Every nation, every one of you nations has done it.
Yep. Yep, you're right.
Every one of you nations has done it. Y'all have done and stole out of the Lord's temple. Ham, all the nation of Ham have done it. You know,
Yep.
going on. You got it, bro.
No, Shalakia. Joel chapter 3, verse 4. It's interesting you mentioned Ham. It says, yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Because those are the Samaritans. They claim that they were Israelites back in the ancient world. That's why we didn't deal with the Samaritans, because really they were converts.
Yeah.
And they were idol worshipers. And they tried to join themselves with us whenever it was convenient. Like when the Persians had mercy, or when Alexander the Great, when he had mercy on us and relieved us of taxes, then they wanted to act like they were Israelites.
Yeah.
But they were heathens.
No.
All right?
Anytime something bad happened, they always pointed us out. Yeah, we're not with them. Nah, that's them over there.
Whenever a siege happened, they was against us.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't with us when Antiochus Epiphanes came against us.
Yep.
They were siding with him.
Yep.
It says, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine, will ye render me a reproach? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Yeah, you got to pay for that, man. The Lord is already saying, I got something for you. You got it, bro.
See? So that's not the desire. That's the regret that they're going to be facing.
Yeah.
Verse 5, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly and pleasant things.
Yeah, even back then, you know, when the Philistines stole the Ark of the Covenant from Israel, hey, y'all still got to pay for that.
And the Lord gave them boils all over their body for that.
Yeah, he gave them hemorrhoids. You know, y'all still got to pay for that crime that you committed. And that was centuries ago, man.
Yeah, that was millennials ago.
Yeah. So the Lord telling you, I'm gonna make you pay for that.
Yeah.
And y'all kept doing it. And you kept doing it, and you kept doing it. Just like these Edomites that kept committing crimes and slaughtering Jake. You gotta pay for that. As well as you other nations too.
Yeah.
All right? For what y'all done, you know, feeding Jake plastic, Moab and Ammon. We ain't forgot about y'all, man.
Yeah, Moab.
Especially Moab, man.
Yeah. You know? Verse 6, it says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians. They sold us to the Grecians.
Yep.
They did that during the time period of Antiochus. They were selling us to the heathens, to the other heathens. They did it during the time of the Romans. You know, and they've done it, the transatlantic slave trade. You had different nations selling us.
Yep.
All right, because the Grecians, that word in the Hebrew is Javan or Yawan, but that's not talking about ethnic Javanites. That's talking about the Edomites. It's talking about the so-called white man. All right, because the original sons of Japheth were, or the original Greeks were the sons of Japheth. The original Javanites were Japhetic people.
Yeah.
Like the Samoans and those type of ethnic lineage of people.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. It says that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. That's not their desire. That's their regret.
Yep.
They don't desire that for their recompense to be shown upon their own head. No, that's their regret.
Nobody desires something bad happening to them. Nobody desires that.
Let's read verse 8. Let's see if this is their desire or their regret. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, which the Sabaeans, those were a heathen people of Proto-Arabia, of ancient Arabia. All right, those were a Cushite people, if I'm not mistaken. But it's not talking about we're going to sell them to actual lineage of Sabaeans. It's talking about Sabaeans represent a merchant man, like the Arabs, which that term Arab means mix. But they were Arabs of that time period. They were desert dwellers in that land. They were merchant man.
Yeah.
It's talking about you're gonna be sold to other merchants.
Yep.
All right. Even when it says and the Arabians should not pitch tent there, that Arabian represents merchant man.
Yeah.
You know, it's a symbolic. Physical Arabians are not going to pinch, but it's talking about merchant man. It's not going to be any merchandise in the stores. You know, it says to a people far off, for Yahweh have spoken it. All right, because the Lord spoke it. So it's not your desire, it's your regret.
Yeah.
In verse 7, when it says, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, it's talking about the regret. That word, chamad, is regret. All right? Let's see here. Let's continue on Haggai, the 2nd chapter. Did you read verse 9?
Nah.
Let's read verse 9, then we'll go down to verse 20.
We was talking about verse 8, how
Okay,
the
go
Lord
ahead.
is the silver and the gold.
Right.
Is really the Israelites.
That's right.
But physically y'all stolen the silver and gold from out the Lord's house.
Yeah. They pillaged the temple. They pillaged our houses, our palaces.
Verse 9, it says, the glory of his latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith Yahweh of hosts, and in this place will I give peace.
And it's not talking about the second temple. The latter house is talking about right now. It's talking about us. What we're about to establish when we go into the land, which is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
It said because the glory of the second temple didn't amount to the first temple's glory.
Yeah.
It wasn't built with the same robust, it wasn't it wasn't as robust as the first temple.
Yeah.
It was a moonstickle. It wasn't as robust as the first temple.
Yeah.
All right, but the temple that we're about to build when we return, which ultimately we are the temple, but we're going to physically build up the city, But our tabernacle is going to be greater than the former because we're going to be perfect. We're going to be immortal.
That's right.
And it's going to be peace on earth. Go ahead.
It says, I'm going to read verse 9 again. It says, the glory of the latter house shall be greater than the former.
The latter house is talking about right now, or what we about to do when we go back into the land, because the Lord is about to bring us back into the land right now.
Saith Yahweh of hosts, in this place will I give peace, saith Yahweh of hosts.
Is it peace in Jerusalem right now? No, it's all type of Sahid missiles raining down on them.
Yeah.
All right? Because those are Edomites over there. All right? Those are not the people.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go down to verse 22 for further understanding of context.
Jumping down to verse 22.
Start at verse 21.
Verse 21, it says, speak to Zerubbabel.
But Zerubbabel was, as it says right here, the governor of Judah. All right, and you have to understand who Zerubbabel is. That helps you properly understand what this prophecy is even talking about.
Yes.
Zerubbabel is King David. All right, Zerubbabel, he is King David reincarnate. Okay, and he is also King Mashah. King Mashah is Zerubbabel reincarnate. All right.
Yep.
And he's likewise. I mean, I guess we'll just give all the jewels. It doesn't matter if you believe in that. We really don't care.
Yeah.
If you don't believe, you know what you can do? You got the option of fasting from breathing. And it doesn't matter. But we'll reveal these secrets to the elect. He was also Peter. And so Peter was what? He was the head of the church, meaning he was the head of the tabernacle. All right. And also King Mashah in this latter generation, he was the reincarnate of these men. And he was also the head of the church. He was the head of One West.
Yep.
All right. So go ahead.
That's why the Lord chose the foolish thing.
Yeah,
Just lay back on what you were saying.
Yeah, the Lord chose them. We are the foolish.
Believes.
We don't. But when you go into that,
crazy.
when you go into that term, the foolish things of this world are confound the wise. That term "foolish" in the Greek, the primitive root or the root of, I believe it's moro. The actual meaning when you go into it, the root of that is mysterion, which means the hidden things.
Yep.
Those who are not recognized by the wicked because of their sins, but understood by the righteous. That's what we are. That's what we stand for. That's the testimony of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
That's why even the Christians of the ancient world, the early Christian church, all right, they were the righteous, and they had the understanding. But the heathens, all the prominent of that world, they killed and murdered them and tortured them to death.
Yeah. Sure did.
All that live godly in Yahweh Shai and Mashiach shall suffer persecution.
That's their desire.
Yep. Go ahead.
It says, speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth.
See, I was shaking there. We talking about shaking the heavens and the earth again.
There you go.
Go ahead. And that's talking about now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms.
Oh, now we overthrowing thrones of kingdoms. And the Hamad and the desire of all nations and the regret of all nations. Their desire is not for them to be overthrown. It said all nations. So if you think in the desire, the desire of all, no, the regret of all nations.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, and I will overthrow the thrones of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen.
Of the heathen, these heathen nations, these other ethnic nations. Go ahead.
And I will overthrow the chariots.
I'm talking about their military arsenal.
And those that ride in them, and the horses, and their riders shall come down, everyone by the sword of his brother.
And that's via what? World War III in Jehoshaphat. Because the EU nations are brothers to the Americans, but they're going to shoot missiles on America. You know what I'm saying? The Russians and Americans are Edomites, but they're going to shoot missiles on each other. The Pakistanis and the East Indians are both Elamite people, but they're going to fight against each other. And so on and so forth. Go ahead.
And that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, will I take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant.
Oh, and that day Zerubbabel should be taken. So not back then, not during the building of the second temple, but in that day, and that's talking about now.
Yep.
So who is Zerubbabel? Who is that talking about? That's talking about King Mashah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
My servant, the son of Shealtiel, saith Yahweh, and will make thee as a signet.
And will make thee as a signet. So in that day, a signet means a sign, right? A signet means a sign, but let's go a little bit deeper into that term signet, right? And then whole Amos, you know what I want. Let's go a bit deeper to that term signet. Let's just not take it for face value, right? So it's Chawatham, all right? Chawatham, which means seal, sign, signet, ring, all right? Now, let's go to the root word. The primitive root is chatham, which means seal, seal up. To seal, seal up. Affix a seal, right? So let's go down. It says the Strong's definition, chatham. Let's go down to primitive root, to close up. To close up, right? Especially to seal, make an end, mark. It says to close. Let's write down that word to close up for chatham, for the word seal in or signet, all right, in Haggai, the second chapter. Let's write that down. All right. Now let's go to and I'll say don't shy away from the Syriac and the Arabic, but this is classical or pre-classical Arabic, and it complements the Hebraic word as well. So yachatham, to seal, right? So let's go let's check the Arabic out, which that is khatim, which conjunctive, to lock up. Khatim, to lock up, right? Let's go down. Let's see here. Yep, let's go down to number 2. To complete, the Arabic khatim, to complete, to mark with a sign of conclusion, to finish, all right, be fulfilled, right? And the key word that we want to consider in the Hebrew is chatham, which means when it says close up, right? So now let's go to the book of Amos, the 9th chapter. Go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 9 and verse 11. Verse 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. So wait a minute. It's just talking about Zerubbabel is going to be ascending in that day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because Zerubbabel is David.
Yeah.
And it's talking about the same thing. Zerubbabel himself was a descendant of David.
Yeah.
He was an ethnic descendant of King David. He was one of the sons of David. Not the direct son, but he was a great grandson of David.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? As well as our Lord Yahushua.
Yeah.
Yahushua was a grandson of David. James the Just, which was Yahushua's brother, was a grandson of David. The Simon, who sat, I believe, as third of the bishop of the Church of Jerusalem, he was the third bishop. He was a cousin of Yahushua. He was also a descendant of David.
Yeah.
The sons that descended from James the Just that sat as bishops of the Church of Jerusalem in the early church, they were also descendants of David.
Yeah.
But point being, in these latter times, the Lord is going to raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. And he's going to raise up, he physically raised up David via King Masha. He physically raised up David 2,000 years ago in the format of Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter was what? He was the head of the church. Yahushua made him the head of the church.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Fine. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And close up the breaches thereof.
Oh, now we're talking about closing up.
Mm-hmm.
Did we not just read about that with Zerubbabel? When it said Zerubbabel should be a signet. And when we went to it, the word Chawatham, or the primitive Chatham, we got the word to close up.
Yeah.
Did we not?
Yep.
So we said, and close up the breaches thereof. And how has that been done? Via the truth, via the testimony of Yahushua. It's closed up and it's fulfilled all things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also reconsolidated the 12 tribes, because when you go in antiquity, King David was what? He was the king of all 12 tribes over the unified monarchy of Israel.
Right.
That didn't take place during the time of Zerubbabel.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't take place during the time of Peter.
Yeah.
That has taken place in the latter days, in the time of now.
Yeah.
Where all 12 tribes are now coming together under the monarchy of David.
Yeah.
And that's what we're a part of.
Mm-hmm.
That's what One West was. Before the heresies and and different things that took place that caused a division. And then we broke up. One West broke up, and then we established something called what? The House of David.
That's right.
Under the leadership of King Masha.
Right.
And now the continuity of that government is via Great Millstone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Was his ruins built as in the days of old during the time of Zerubbabel? No. Was his ruins built as in the days of old during the time of Peter, Kapas,
Yeah.
Simon? Right? No. It wasn't. But it is being built now via this truth.
Yeah.
And the Lord is going to exalt us pursuant to the book of Wisdom Solomon 5th chapter. Also the prophecy of Isaiah the 14th chapter in the 1st verse. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Uh-oh. We ain't going to go down that path, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel
That's right.
and set them in their own land.
Mm-hmm.
And we just read about us being set in our own land in the book of what was that book? Haggai,
Yeah.
the 2nd chapter. Also, that's written in the book of Zephaniah. and the stranger shall be joined with them,
Yeah.
and close up the breaches thereof.
Yep.
Because those strangers are speaking about Israelites in that context.
Yep.
So closing up the breaches thereof. Then it furthermore goes on to say, and we shall take the people and bring them to the house of the Lord, and the heathen shall serve us as servants and handmaids, and that we shall rule over them, or rule over our oppressors.
Yeah.
That's all. It's talking about the same thing. All these prophecies are talking about essentially the same talking points.
Yep.
These are not distinct, independent prophecies.
Go.
They're consolidated. Verse 12, it says that they may possess the remnant of Edom. Well, Isaiah the 14th chapter.
Yep.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Yep.
And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That's Isaiah 14:2.
That's right.
Who took us captive? Anybody got it? You raise your hand. What was transatlantic slave trade all about? Somebody explain that to me.
Yep.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom. And the remnant of Edom represents the elect of Edom. That's talking about when I say the elect, I'm talking about the oligarchs, the trillionaires, the multi-billionaires.
Yep.
And it's just talking about the Edomites that's left after World War III.
Yeah.
It says, but a lot of them that are going to be left are the ones who had money,
Yeah.
who was able to get into these different mountain bunkers in Switzerland and in New Zealand and stuff.
Yep.
It says that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathens. So not just the Edomites. What did we just read about in the book of Haggai?
Yeah.
Talking about the destroying the thrones of the nations and all that stuff.
All right.
Yeah, that was a lot to take in. It says, and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh that doeth this. So we're not saying we're going to do this. We're saying Yahweh that doeth this.
Yep.
You thought we're going to give ourselves credit. No, you going into slavery because God told you you're going into slavery.
Right.
Because Yahweh Bashim Shah said it. This is not vain words that we're just philosophizing and we're mad black people that just don't like. No, this is what the Lord say. It don't matter if we say this or not, you still going to slavery.
Yeah.
We can shut our mouth right now and not say another word. You still going to slavery.
Yeah.
It said, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh. That's why they say, stupid thinking, we're going to kill them. Let's kill the Christians. We're going to kill them and we just going to murder them and be stupid and thinking that's going to help them.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Herod. Go into the history. Look what happened when they killed the people who killed James the Just. That's what brought 70 AD about.
Yep.
70 AD took place right after Yahushua brother, who was the bishop of the Church of Jerusalem, right after he was martyred. Then the Romans started coming. You see, all fun and games. The Romans started coming. Now y'all starving to death.
Yep.
Now you got ladies eating. You got people eating their children
Yeah.
because of lack of food and bread. But you was a tough guy. You was an intellectual, right?
Yep.
To the Lord judgment come. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth the seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. You're going to melt via the missiles. And also that melting talking about the nations. That the hills represent nations. You're going to be brought down low. When it says that you're going to drop, you're going to melt, it's also talking about the nations, you're going to be brought down.
Yeah.
And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, which technically we're not going to physically build it. You heathens are going to build it because you're going to be in slavery.
Yeah.
But we get the credit for building it. Just like the Edomites get the credit for building up America, but they didn't build shit. We built it as slaves. It says, and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land. The Lord going to do it. He going to do it.
Yep.
We got trust and faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith Yahweh thy God.
That's right.
regret, not desire.
Yeah.
See? You had anything else?
That's
All
it.
right. With that, we're going to give all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Machakodash. Once again, double honors into the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations into you, Akim. Shalom, keep the faith.
Shalom.